My stepmom mocked me on a live stream from the vacation I paid for, so I canceled everything and sent a gift bag that left the entire hotel lobby gasping. What happened after changed. My stepmom sneered on a live stream from the vacation I paid for. I canceled their perks and sent them a gift bag that made the whole lobby gasp. When they came back, they were never the same again. Can you imagine him sitting with us here? Ugh. She wrinkled her nose, like someone had just farted in the middle of a five-star dinner. The camera shook slightly as my father chuckled off-screen. Oh, don't even say that. You'll ruin the vibe. Too late, she muttered, brushing her freshly bleached hair behind her ear. I swear, he's like a walking cringe, just hovering around, asking weird questions, looking like he doesn't belong. Then she took a long, smug sip from her mimosa and added with a laugh, "Good thing we paid for this trip, so we could enjoy some peace." I paused the stream and stared at the screen, as if it might apologize. Peace? They said they paid for this trip? Funny, I didn't remember them pitching in when I dropped over $5,000 to book this so-called anniversary gift. I didn't recall a single thank you either, just a quick, "Well, it's about time we did something nice," and a reminder not to tag them in any of the booking emails. We wanted to look like we paid for it ourselves just for the photos. But this was next level. I rewound the video just to be sure I hadn't imagined it. He'd be sulking the whole time, my stepmom said, sitting there judging, probably counting how many shrimp everyone eats. You know how he is. Like he's doing us a favor just by existing. And then the final blow. If he were here, I swear I'd ask the front desk to cancel our reservation. My stomach tightened, and not because of the cheap frozen pizza I'd had for dinner. My phone buzzed with a notification. Dad and Lisa are live from Paradise Cove. Yeah, my Paradise Cove. The one I paid for. The one I wasn't even invited to. I took a breath and hit play again. Cheers to freedom, my stepmom smiled, clinking glasses with my dad. No drama, just us and the good life. I let the video play to the end, then sat there in silence. No rage, no yelling, just a strange, quiet kind of clarity. Then I picked up my phone, opened the travel app, and clicked cancel booking. One by one, everything unraveled. Their rental car gone, spa appointments canceled, the private boat dinner I'd upgraded to for $600, refunded and rebooked under someone else's name, and I wasn't done yet. Before they had a chance to figure it out, I called the hotel and arranged one last thing, a gift bag to be delivered to them right in the center of the marble-floored lobby at peak check-in time. What was inside? Let's just say it made everyone stop and stare. That was the moment everything changed. They left for vacation as my ungrateful family. They came back different. But I wasn't waiting for their apology. Not this time. You know, you should smile more in photos, my stepmom once told me, holding her wine glass like it was part of her hand. You always look so anxious. Maybe because I'm the one paying for everything, I replied without missing a beat. She laughed, like I'd just made a joke at my own expense. The truth is, it didn't start with that vacation. That was just the cherry on top of a three-tiered cake made of guilt, manipulation, and decades of. Ever since my dad remarried, I'd been the outsider. Not openly hated, no, that would have been easier. I was tolerated like wallpaper, a placeholder, a polite nod at the family table while they passed the mashed potatoes to each other and skipped over my plate. But I tried. Oh God, I tried. I paid their electric bill a month after Dad lost his job. I sent my stepmom grocery money every 2 weeks just to help out. I even helped refinance their mortgage when they fell behind, co-signing because their credit was too wrecked to qualify. I thought, this will finally prove I belong. Spoiler alert, it didn't. I know it's a lot to ask, she'd say in that syrupy sweet voice of hers, but we're just in such a tight spot. If you really care about us, and every time she said us, she meant her, him, and their 2 kids, my half-siblings, who barely knew me as anything but the guy who brings the good gifts. Once, I overheard her on the phone with one of her friends. Yeah, we're so lucky, she said, giggling. He's like a third parent, but better. No rules, just wiring money. Wiring money, like I was some human ATM with emotional codependency issues. Even then, I stayed silent. I paid for their beach trip 2 summers ago. I bought new uniforms for both kids last fall. I even covered the down payment on Dad's new car when his old one gave out. And I never asked for thanks. I didn't want applause. I just wanted to be treated like a person. A son, a brother. But the more I gave, the more they acted like it was owed to them. Until one day, I made the mistake of saying no. It was about a new iPad. Lisa, my stepmom, called me on a random Tuesday. Hey, she said breezily, so Harper really needs a tablet for school. All the kids are getting them and she's been feeling left out. I can maybe send some money next month, I replied, half asleep after a 13-hour shift. I'm a little tight right now. There was a pause. A little tight, she repeated, as if I just said I sold a kidney on the black market. Didn't you just get a raise? Yeah, I said, which covered the extra taxes and my car repairs. I'm not sitting on gold bars, Lisa. Well, she said, her voice icing over. I guess Harper will just have to learn what it's like to have a selfish older brother. I stared at the phone, stunned. Excuse me, I finally said. I just hope you're proud of yourself, she continued. Letting your little sister fall behind in school because you wanted to upgrade your laptop? I didn't upgrade anything, I snapped. I bought a used one off eBay because the old one died. Still sounds like a choice, she bit back. I hung up. That was my first no, and it felt terrifying but also strangely right. The next week, the passive aggression turned up to 11. At a family dinner, Lisa raised her glass and said, "Here's to the ones who show up even when times are tough." She didn't look at me. She didn't have to. My dad joined in with a dry, "Yep, some people just get it." I pushed my plate away. And then came the real insult. They booked the vacation I paid for, used the spa credits I added, ate the meal I had reserved under my account, and then went live just to drag me in front of the internet. No gratitude, no decency, just a smug, tipsy laugh from a woman who once cried on the phone and said, "I don't know what we'd do without you." You do now, I thought. That night, I didn't just cancel their perks. I wrote a letter. Well, technically I designed it. A luxury black envelope with gold calligraphy sealed in wax. On the front, in scripted letters, "Something special just for you." Inside was a glossy gold-edged card. No angry message, no insults, just a simple printed line. Scan for a personal surprise. Beneath it, a clean, elegant QR code. I called the hotel concierge and asked for one favor. Place the envelope in the center of the grand lobby check-in desk, right before the pre-dinner rush. It's a gift for the couple staying in the honeymoon suite, I said sweetly. They'll know it's from me. They did. Lisa, ever the spotlight hunter, grabbed it like a prize. She opened it right there at the front desk. The staff gathered, intrigued. Tourists stopped mid-step, curious. She scanned the code with a flourish. The moment her screen loaded, the lobby went dead quiet. A full-screen video began playing at full volume. A short, slow-motion clip of me standing on a beach, holding a cocktail and a sign that read, "This is the face of the person who paid for your luxury while you dragged him online." Then, as the screen zoomed in on my face, the unmistakable music kicked in, the Curb Your Enthusiasm theme. It echoed off the marble walls. Lisa screamed, literally screamed. My father tried to shut the phone off, fumbling like it was on fire. Someone gasped and said, "Oh my God, is that them?" A teenage boy whispered, "Yo, this is legendary." Another guest laughed and said, "Wait, is that the Curb Your Enthusiasm music? That's brutal. This is so going on TikTok." Then the hotel manager, not knowing what was going on, leaned forward and read the card aloud. "Something special just for you," he said, confused but impressed. Then he added, "Is this part of a performance?" By the time the music looped for the third time, half the lobby had pulled out their phones. Guests whispered, staff stared. One woman was laughing so hard she had to lean on a pillar. Lisa shoved the card back into the envelope and bolted. My dad followed, muttering something about suing somebody, but it was too late. The damage was done. That was the moment everything changed. They left for vacation as my ungrateful family. They came back different. What happened next? Well, the whole lobby gasped. And when they came back, they didn't look smug anymore. They looked ruined. They came back 2 days early. No posts, no hi, no sorry, just a command, like always. But you know what? I went. I didn't go to talk. I went to finish it. When I walked in, the table was set like always, steaming dishes in place. Lisa was nursing a glass of wine but refused to look at me. Dad was already halfway to pissed. I could feel it in the air. "Let's get to the point," he barked before I even sat down. "What the hell was that stunt at the hotel?" I raised an eyebrow. "You mean that you humiliated us in front of the entire hotel?" she shrieked. People were whispering. One guy asked if we were on probation. "Do you realize what we went through? Do you realize what I've gone through?" I said, sharp and calm, sitting alone in my apartment, eating canned ravioli while you sip champagne on a live stream. Laughing at me. "It was just a comment," she snapped. "A bad joke. You're acting insane." "A joke?" I stood up. "For years I've been the one feeding you, paying your rent, covering your groceries, co-signing loans, funding fresh starts and luxury getaways. And what did I get in return? Can you imagine him here? He'd ruined the vibe. Thank God he's not with us." Dad pounded the table. "That still doesn't excuse what you did. You made us look like freeloaders in front of strangers. People thought we were moochers." I tilted my head. "Because you are." Silence, refrigerator humming, pin drop silence. Lisa put her wine glass down slowly. "You've damaged our reputation," she said coldly. "And if you have even a shred of decency left, you'll apologize. Fix this." I laughed, deep from the gut. "Apologize for what? For showing people the truth?" For making you face what you actually are? You shamed us, Dad exploded. I turned to him, my eyes locked on his. Oh really? And what exactly have you done for me? You gave me a roof and charged me guilt. You gave me family, but only when you needed money. You taught me that love in this house is just currency in disguise. Lisa stood. We gave you life. That's not enough. And you monetized every second of it. I shot back. But the game's over. I reached into my bag and tossed a folder onto the table. They flinched. What's this? Dad growled. A termination agreement, I said. I'm no longer your sponsor, your emergency fund, your plan B. This is ridiculous, he barked. You think you can just walk away from your own family? I leaned forward, calm, cold. I don't think I can. I am. Lisa's face was pale now. You can't just erase us. I met her eyes. You already erased me years ago. And with that, I turned, walked out the door and left them sitting in silence, surrounded by their comfort food, cooling like their excuses. I didn't hear from them for 5 days. No texts, no calls, no 3 a.m. guilt messages from Lisa, no fake emergencies from Dad. It was the loudest silence I'd ever heard, and it was glorious. I woke up the morning after the dinner confrontation feeling like someone had cut a 200-pound chain off my chest. My apartment looked the same, my job was still stressful, but everything inside me felt lighter. That night, I bought myself sushi. Good sushi, not grocery store plastic tray sushi. I poured a glass of wine, sat on the balcony, and for the first time in years, I breathed. Not checking my bank account in fear of another emergency, Venmo, not calculating how long I could stretch gas money to cover a surprise expense from the family. Just me, my money, my choices. And the best part? I didn't owe anyone a single thing. But peace never lasts long when manipulators are losing their grip. On day 6, my phone rang. Dad. I stared at it, let it ring. Then another call, Lisa. Then a text. I know we fought, but we're still family. Can we please talk? For your siblings' sake. I ignored it. Then came another message, short, passive-aggressive, classic Lisa. I hope you're happy. Your brother had to cancel his basketball camp. Your sister's dance recital, ruined. All because you made a scene. I didn't respond, so they turned up the heat. On day 8, Lisa posted a long-winded Facebook rant. It's sad when people in your own bloodline turn their backs on family, especially when children suffer. Some people just love attention. She didn't tag me, of course not, but I got the screenshots. Apparently someone in the comments section asked about the QR code scandal at the hotel, and she deleted it. But not before 20 people reacted with the laughing emoji. Then came the final straw. On day 10, I got a knock on my door. It was my younger half-brother, Mason, 14, hoodie pulled up. He looked pale, nervous. I just wanted to see you, he mumbled. Lisa doesn't know I'm here. I blinked. Come in. We sat on the couch. He didn't look at me, just stared at the floor. I saw the video, he finally said. The QR code. I thought it was fake at first, but then I heard what they said about you. I just wanted to say I'm sorry. I didn't expect it. I didn't ask for it, but hearing those words from someone in their house meant more than anything they could ever say. She made us unfollow you, he added quietly. Said you were dangerous, that you'd turned against the family. But I think she just didn't want us to see the truth. He handed me something, a crumpled envelope. Inside, a birthday card I'd sent him 2 years ago. It had $20 inside. I never cashed it, he said. I just kept it. I almost cried. Thanks for still being you, he said, standing up. Before he left, he turned and said, She's freaking out, by the way, like losing it. Dad's mad all the time. I think they're scared you're going to go public. I smiled. Oh, honey, I whispered. I already did. From there, things fell apart fast for them. My dad called my uncle, trying to get him to talk sense into me. Spoiler, my uncle texted me instead. You were way too patient for way too long. Proud of you. Lisa reached out to one of my exes, seriously claiming I had always been unstable, and maybe the breakup had pushed me over the edge. The ex sent me the screenshots with the caption, Tell her to get better material. I found out they tried applying for a small personal loan. Guess what? Denied. Why? Because I had been the one with the good credit score propping up their cosign accounts. Not anymore. And oh, remember the hotel? Apparently the concierge posted anonymously on a travel forum about the most dramatic guest moment I've ever seen. It went viral. No names, of course, but anyone who knew them knew exactly who it was. And me? I thrived. I deleted the family group chat, started therapy, joined a gym, took a weekend trip by myself, the first time I'd ever bought a plane ticket just for me. I wasn't rich. I wasn't a different person overnight. But every day I felt like I was pulling one more root of them out of my skin. Freedom didn't feel like fireworks. It felt like peace. It felt like waking up and realizing no one could take from me anymore just because they shared a last name. It felt like finally belonging to myself. Some mornings I still wake up expecting a message from them. Something dramatic, something guilt-laced, some new fire to put out. But there's nothing, just the hum of my coffee maker and the quiet joy of knowing that my life belongs to me now. It's strange how silence used to terrify me. Back when I equated attention with love, back when every dollar I gave them felt like buying a seat at a table I was never really welcome at. Now, silence is a blessing. It's proof that I'm finally free. I think what shocks me most is how long I let it happen. 5 years, 10, maybe more. I spent decades trying to earn what should have been unconditional respect, inclusion, basic human decency, and every time I got a crumb, an empty thank you, a brief, "so proud of you," I clung to it like it was gold, because somewhere deep down, I thought I was the problem. I thought if I just gave a little more, tried a little harder, they'd love me back. But that's the trick about toxic families. They don't want you healed, they want you useful. They want you quiet, exhausted, and guilty. Because those are the easiest kinds of people to control. The moment I stopped apologizing for their behavior and started questioning it, everything changed. A few weeks ago, I ran into someone at the grocery store, a woman I vaguely recognized from my parents' neighborhood. She looked at me, did a double take, and said, "You're Lisa's stepson, right?" I froze for a moment, then nodded. She lowered her voice, leaned in a little, and whispered, "We all saw the hotel video." I braced myself, but then she smiled. "It was brilliant, took guts. They've always acted like they're royalty around here. I think you woke a few people up." I thanked her and walked away with my head high. Sometimes I wonder if they still sit around their table, spinning new stories about why I changed. I bet Lisa tells people I had a breakdown, that I was always sensitive, that I misunderstood. Maybe Dad says I'll come crawling back once I get it out of my system. But here's what they don't know. I'm not angry anymore. Anger was the fuel that helped me leave, but peace is what's helping me stay gone. I don't need revenge. I don't need validation. I don't need them to say you were right, because I know I was. I have the receipts, the scars, the silence. And now, I have something else too. Boundaries. The other day, I got a letter, handwritten, no return address. Inside was a simple note. I saw what happened. I just wanted to say thank you for showing that sometimes cutting ties is exactly what saves a person. You helped me leave too. It wasn't signed, but it didn't need to be. Someone out there, someone like me, finally saw they weren't alone. And maybe that's enough. So here's what I know now. I'm not a villain for choosing myself. I'm not cruel for stopping the cycle. And I'm not a bad son, brother, or person, because I decided to stop paying for people who never paid me respect. I was never the problem. They just hated that I finally realized it. And now, I don't carry guilt. I don't carry fear. I carry one thing only: freedom.